Okay, so my name is Devin Brinkley, so I'm the engineering lead for Project Taara. So I'll explain a little bit, just talk about what Project Taara is, the technology that we're using, which is wireless optical communication, and a little bit about the company that we work at, what X is, or formerly known as Google X. And specifically the wireless optical communication. So Dennis had a nice slide earlier for 5G, where you saw the spectrum going out to 100 gigahertz. And so what we're talking about for wireless optical communication is 2,000 times that, so out to 193 terahertz. Okay, so first just a little bit of information on X. So X is Alphabet's innovation lab. So it's a place where you apply radical solutions to huge problems. So it's a place where we look for 10x solutions for some of the biggest problems in the world. And the key mantra at X is we always ask the question, what if? So for other projects, the question is, what if cars could drive themselves? For other projects, the question is, what if drones could deliver goods anywhere in the world? For our project specifically, the question is, what if we could provide fiber-like connectivity without laying fiber? So what if we could provide the throughput of fiber with the flexibility of wireless? And that's what we're looking to solve. So Project X's focus, what we call a moonshot at X, is providing fiber-like connectivity at very high-speed data rates, abundant, affordable internet to the more than 3 billion people around the world that are currently either underconnected or unconnected. And we're looking to do this with the technology that I mentioned earlier, wireless optical communication. So for me personally, I've been working on the field of wireless optical communication for almost 2 decades now. And I've watched as the data consumption continues to increase, as you move from 2G to 3G to 4G to 5G now, is that WOC starts to play more and more of a role in the ecosystem of the network. So we've seen much more interest, we've seen much more applications, much more use case as we increase the data rates. And we expect even more of this in India with the rollout of 5G. And so with the challenges related to the micro towers, of how do you connect to these, of the increased data capacity that they're seeing, all of these challenges, we look for being part of the solution with wireless optical communication. And that's why we're working with companies and partners like Airtel and other innovative companies for applying these solutions. So connected to that, the Gati Shakti, we're very excited to be part of and understanding the coordination of this planning, the coordination of this implementation, and the rollout of this master planning system. And we feel that with the coordination of this information, with all the planning, with all the sharing of information, is that you really start to find the locations where each technology makes sense. And we know that WOC isn't the complete solution. We know that there's locations where WOC makes sense. We know that there's locations where it makes sense to roll out fiber. And what we hope to get out of the Gati Shakti is the visibility of that information to the end user and pushing that information down to the operators so they have the information that they need to make the decisions of what technology they can embrace for solving the problems within their community. So we know we're not the complete solution here. We know we're one of the solutions of many. And so just to give a little bit more information on how the Taara system works, how this wireless optical communication system works, it's essentially a point-to-point communication system using eye-safe, invisible lasers. So these lasers are able to communicate at long distances, so up to 20 kilometers. And essentially, you take a small box, a little 13-kilogram box, and you can put it on an antenna, you can put it on top of a building, and then you can communicate with another box up to 20 kilometers away, 20 gigahertz per second. So it creates this point-to-point link where it's essentially fiber in, fiber out, and everything else is transparent to the end user. So it looks just like a fiber connection. And so connected with Gati Shakti, and the meaning of that, the meaning of power through speed, that aligns exactly with what our focus is. So we believe our power is being able to rapidly deploy fiber-like connectivity. So to be able to deploy these links in locations like crossing a road, crossing a railway, going long distances, crossing a river, where it could take a long time, could take months longer to deploy. We can do it in a matter of a day. So there's no right-of-way issues, there's no spectrum issues, there's no congestion, there's no interference issues. You don't have to worry about the cost, the time of digging up trenches, of laying poles and stringing fiber along it. It's essentially one day you can have a system up and close these links and provide that connectivity. We feel like that's the real power of our solution, and that's the power and the focus, what we feel, the mindset of Gati Shakti, of the power through speed. So looking forward, what we really like to see with these tools, with this information that's provided, is to push that information down to the end operator. So providing that information to folks like the ISPs, folks like the local cable operators, but provide that information so that they can make informed decisions for their community of what technology really makes sense, of whether that's walk, of whether that's satellite, other solutions, but really empower these people in the community to find the right solution. And a great example of that is what we're showing in this slide right now of a company that we're working with, Bluetown, that we partner with, who has a majority of their fiber connections are aerial currently. And initially we kicked off the partnership to deploy a handful of our links, providing replacements for these aerial fibers. And the aerial fibers would be left, and that would provide a backup connection to our main link, which is the wireless optical communication. And so that's how it started out. And that ended up being so successful that the networks expanded in those locations, and the data consumption got to the point where it was beyond what was available at their POP. And so they approached us and they asked, can we daisy chain enough of these terminals together where we can provide connection from a POP 150 kilometers away to this community? We told them that, yes, that works with our technology. And kudos to Bluetown, they were able to deploy this system in just a matter of 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. So now with this backbone, this cascading, this daisy chain of wireless optical communication links, we've provided this additional bandwidth to that community, that targeted community, connected thousands of more users there. And then additionally, in that backbone that we've created, Bluetown started connecting with customers, providing connectivity to towns along that path, and further expanded their network. So it's solutions like this, things that, at Taara specifically, we would have never thought of this application, but really the ability to apply these technologies, push the information down to the people that are really going to be implementing this, and let them understand what their solutions are and find the right use case for our technology and for other technologies. But I think that's how we could really make a difference with these tools and with all the various tools like the wireless optical communication in our repertoire. So thank you very much. Again, focus for our project is power through speed.